We're live, guys. I hope everyone's doing awesome. This is Jose Trujillo, and I'm going to show you guys a little painting right now. Well, it's not little, but it's going to be a painting nonetheless. So stay tuned. Here we go. I have no idea where I left my apron.
It's right here.
My apron?
Put it up there.
Thank you. It's a little official. An apron and ish. My acrylic apron. My acrylic painting apron. How's it going, Sheila? Or Shayla? Shayla Story Art. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to be doing... Whoops. That was crazy. The phone just fell. I caught it though. Muy loco.
Loco en la cabeza.
Yeah. Alright, here we go. I'm going to be doing a painting with this paper, which I really like. I really enjoy this paper. It's pretty heavy. Heavy metal. And I'm going to tape it on the wall. Because I'm loco like that.
Ay.
What do you mean?
Oh, I almost dropped my phone too. Because I'm trying to prop
dropping
it.
phones around town.
I'm trying to prop it so that people can see the magic.
Yeah, so this is what we're doing. I was supposed to have a, what do they call it? Where's the blue tape? An art studio by now, but haven't moved yet. So
We're going to do a lot of it this weekend.
Huh? Yeah, there's going to be a lot of moving. So I'm going to do some water lilies for you guys. Those of you guys who are like, dude, I love water lilies.
I do love water lilies.
Do some water lilies vertical, because vertical's cool, on this paper.
Hi, Chris. Chris just joined us.
Oh, cool. So, I got some paint. I'm gonna do some water lilies. So I'm gonna start with a graphite, okay? I'm gonna start doing my water lilies with a graphite. The way I like to start it is starting with the largest and then working my way down. There's different ways of doing it, but that's really where I like it most. So I'm gonna start here, like Monsieur Monet, with a large. This is loose brush work, guys. Okay, this is some loose drawing, loose painting. My composition, I don't think much about composition. I'm sorry, all those artists out there who dream about composition. I'm tired of composition. I dislike composition. I think I just do it naturally. Because you guys will see an S here. I think I just do it naturally, but I don't think about it. So this is probably going to be an S composition. I just don't like to think about it that much. It's just kind of al natural. And then this is where my S will take us up. And so there's two things happening in water. You have shadow and reflection. They're two very different things. For those of you who are starting in your art career, painting or whatever you're doing, don't get those mixed up.
There's a question. Can I ask it to you?
Yeah.
Chris asks, does the wall texture affect your application at all?
Totally. It does. the texture in the back of the wall actually doesn't help much, especially the first part, the drawing part. But I've learned to live with it.
Luckily, at the new warehouse, we don't have textured walls, which will be nice.
Luckily.
I hadn't even thought about that. Great question.
So I'm going to do a very short, I'm going to take some paint, okay? I'm going to take some paint. You guys are going to see me take some paint right here. I'm going to take some paint, and I'm going to do a very quick sketch over the sketch, right? What I want to do is solidify. I want to solidify where the artwork is going to be, especially the main shadows. But it's not quite there yet. It's just a bit of a sketch just to kind of get a feel. One of the things that I like to do is that I like to fill, once I have the composition, quote unquote, ready, like right here, right? Told you guys I don't like to think much about a composition, but you know this is an ass composition, right? It works well in different types of artwork, landscapes. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a still life and still work well. You could do the S with the flowers. You could do the S with whatever. The composition helps so that your viewer doesn't escape the painting, right? But if you've been painting like me for over 20 years, you're kind of tired of it. And sometimes you bend the rule, or you just break it, or you're just like, whatever. Because now you're playing with colors. Now, not so much composition. The idea is now to use colors. Colors will help you create composition in sort of like in music, right? At some point, it's not necessarily the notes. It's more of the je ne sais quoi. It's not so much the notes. So, let's get some of this going. So now that I know where that is, now I'm going to use some black, watered down, highly watered down, because I get bananas with some of these drips, okay? I get bananas with some of these drips. And this is something that is going to help me play a bit more. Okay? Bam! That's what's done. I need helpers. I need Santa's little helpers now. You know, I was thinking about in the new studio we're not gonna have the train, but it's not true, huh?
No, we'll always hear the train.
We moved downtown hoping that I wasn't going to listen to the train.
Was you hoping you wouldn't get the train?
Well, I did. And then I was taking a shower, and then it was like, I was like, where in the hell is the fucking train here? And we're like in a high rise, so you wouldn't think it was. I don't know. I thought it was going to be.
No, we hear it everywhere. Chris, I know we're excited to show you the new place too. We're planning something for the end of the month to have everyone over to the new warehouse.
It's gonna be super fun. It's gonna be funsicles. What is it?
Chris said that her and the 3 kids can come and help.
I love that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Help
I know. Daniel wants to go back to school too. He's like, I want a longer summer. Red for Ed, people. Our state's in strike. Gotta fund our schools and support our teachers.
What?
Just throwing it out there.
I love that. So now I mix this blue-green. And here's what I'm going to do, okay? Check it out. Check it out. I don't want the brush to be too heavy, so this is what I'm going to do. This is what I like to do in some of my acrylics on paper. I like to squeeze out, sort of like a squeegee, okay? This is for faux finishes and whatnot. I have some big ones. I have some mean ones that I like to use as well. And that is so that just because I'm cool like that. At the same time, I want to keep moving, okay? I want to keep moving because it's the movement that creates the painting. It's not me. I know it sounds weird, but I don't know shit about painting. So if you're trying to learn painting from me, you're in the wrong place. I'm just joking. But it's not me, it's the movement. The movement is what creates the painting. The more movement there is, the more certain I become. The slower I go, and it's not so much to do with being so slow, it's got to do with movement. Like you could be slow but not stop moving. If you don't stop moving, even if you're slow, there's something else that you start trusting something else other than your own cabeza.
Hi, Oyuki.
And that's what makes it very cool.
A viewer says that they've been trying to focus more on value than color.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, value. Value is a very important thing to focus on. Value is actually something that's going to help you create realism. It doesn't matter how you do things. There will always be a sense of realism. That's not what I do, but that's what value is for many times. It helps you create a sense of realism because that's how you create your 3 dimensions with value, right? Colorists do that a lot. I used to call myself a colorist painter. I used to do that kind of stuff. Not that much anymore. I'm kind of like, yeah. I love using value still, but I like to create value and contrast with color. I know it sounds weird, but I may never achieve it. But I like to use intense colors to create value and to create contrast. Not here though. Here I'm just playing. It's in my oil paintings that I focus more on that.
Hi, Camilla. You got lots of thumbs up.
And then I look for where these are waterlilies. Okay, I look for where something is crying more. I call it crying, and then that's where I. Remember what I told you guys about the movement? I'm looking for if something feels. I don't like it to look too clean. Okay, if it looks too clean, I feel like I'm decorating a wall, a full finished wall. That's not my intention. I don't like it to be too dirty either, where you can't tell what it is. So I'll go back to it and go back to it for acrylics. Okay, for acrylic works, I'll go back to them and play around with the form again. And then I like to do something that just throws off my whole je ne sais quoi, which is bring some different colors, some grays. You guys will see right now. Bring some grays or some camels. Okay, and then this I'll still put them in the as if they were green. And this is mainly to rest the eye. If you guys have heard me talk about this, there is enough white, of course, in the background that we don't really need it. But I like to use it because it's a very modern color. But if you're using a lot of bright colors, using gray is really cool because it allows for the eye to rest. It creates a resting place in the eye, and it's just really cool that way. I like its jam. Okay. And again, it's a lot of just feeling it. You know, you're not gonna. I don't know. I don't know who's watching. If you're an artist, I try not to overthink about it so much, because if I do, I'll miss the dance. I feel like there's a little dance happening. I'm dancing with the painting. And if I overthink the thing, I'll miss the dance. So even one of my approach or ways to paint is to look at the painting as if, I know this is gonna sound weird, I don't know for some people, but I like to repeat in my own crazy head. I don't know this, right? I don't know. And it gives me sort of a blank canvas in my mind. It allows me to, if you don't know, then what's left? You know, Degas used to say this a lot in different things that the man left written. Also, Monet said that too. All of these guys. Only when you don't know what you're doing is that you're actually creating artwork. This comes from I think it was a very non-duality philosophy, but they discovered it not through like some spiritual teacher or some I don't know, guru. I think they just discovered it through painting. Because in painting, what I realize is that the more you know, the less you can really paint. I mean, you can paint, but the less you can create art. The less you know, the more art you can create. I don't know if I make any sense with that.
Are you talking because of judgment?
You
the freedom.
You create judgment. In every brushstroke, you're creating judgment. In every brushstroke, there's the judgment, and it's not a bad judgment. There's not really fullness. There's not a complete decision. You're second guessing. Even if you've been painting for years and years, you're second guessing. And it's not until you get in the zone where you stop second guessing. That's why Picasso used to say you need to paint as you're playing, as a child, as if you're playing. Or he said stuff like if I could just remove my head.
Right.
You know, because he understood that. It's only when you've done it enough that you start understanding that kind of deal. And you start realizing, oh man, this is really just it's a mind game. You're really just playing against your own mind. What's this guy's name? The guy who lost his ear, Van Gogh. The guy who lost his ear. We were watching that movie last night.
Yeah.
Loving Vincent. This guy said, this guy talked a lot about that. This guy was, I think he was more of a, and I know this may sound crazy, but I don't know. I think he was more of a monk than anything else. I think he used painting. Am I going with some crazy stuff here in my esoteric ideas?
I don't know where you're going. It's gone.
Well, I'm just saying that this guy's understood that the more you think about it, the less you paint. Not physically, but the less the artwork. The more you think, the less artwork there is.
Mm-hmm.
The less you think, the more you play, the more artwork you're finding. Squidgy, where are you? Come back to me now! Okay, take a little step back. I'm going to look at it from a little bit of distance. Yeah, it's looking good.
You feel done?
Nope, never. No, I'm just joking. My paintings are like done in. This painting was probably done like 20 minutes ago. I love using this thing. It's called Art Graph. graph stick, and you dip it in water, and it's just like the coolest little thing ever. Have some water right here. It's when you dip it in water that it gives you like this intense, almost charcoal color. And then I go back to it. See guys, I go back to it. This is to reinforce the shape because I don't want the shape to get lost. Just because I've been playing with it, I don't want to lose the main dialogue here, which is it's the paint, it's the shape of the water lilies, right? I don't want to lose that. I'm going to show you guys this again. This thing is magical. I love it. I bought a few of them.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys.
It's called Art Craft Stick.
I don't know when my camera fell over.
Oh, were they just like, oh, okay, well, I guess she doesn't want us to see. Was it like that?
I think so. It's because I'm packaging on the other side, so. Sorry, guys.
And then I'm going to come back here and kiss it with some... Because me viene guango.
Okay, thanks, Chris. I'm glad it was only 2 seconds.
Oh, and this is pretty much how I like to keep the white in the back because I like to play as if when I do acrylics on paper, I like to think of it as a watercolor with a punch. So it's more like a watercolor. I'm coming back here with some white, again for the outlines. This is something that Monet liked doing with pastels. Instead of using this white, he used very light, pastels, very, whether it was purple or yellow or whatever. This is to create the movement of the water, of course, but it helps for different reasons. Bam! Okay, and then as a good artist, my signature keeps getting smaller for some reason. I'm sorry. So there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoy this water lilies little segment.
I think it looks lovely.
I'm such an egocentric bastard, right? Look at that signature.
It's super big.
I want to put it in the middle.
Oh, well, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much, Shayla. So here we go. Let me do a little close-up. There you guys can see what I did. Look at the size of that signature. Man, I have no shame. I have no shame. Look at the size of that thing. I think it's bigger than the actual lilies. So, in a bit of impressionistic, tradition, if you go back, then you can start seeing more of what I intended to paint. So, thank you so much. This painting is going to be for sale on my eBay and my Etsy shop for those of you who want to go check it out. I'm going to have it there. This measures 30 by 40 inches, and it's acrylic in graphite on paper, and it's one of my water lilies. So look at that. I love this gray right here, right next to this washed black. It looks. I love it. I love it. I've done some that have this and copper or some gold as well. So I've been playing with this stuff for a long time. Instead of having that gray, some copper or some gold paint. I really love that. Yeah, I'm not as fancy as Klimt. I wasn't gonna put gold foil, just gold paint. not gold foil. I think it would take too long, so that's why I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be there brushing the gold foil. I just want to get it over with. This is the way that I like to paint. Just get it over with. Look, do it. Like, get to it. I want to get to it. I want to get to it now. Give it to me now. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. I will talk to you guys soon again, all right? Bye-bye.